So here we are in the middle of Bandit Fuck City. I've chased down the smaller group of 6 in the middle of, what is this place actually called? Wanderer's Boon. And we're going to engage some bandits. This is unnecessary to the mission, but it could just be fun and profit. I'm joined again by my co-host.
Hi, this is Highwing again.
Right away, we have a pretty sizable advantage on these brigands. We outnumber them by 2, and there's 1 buckler among all 6 of them.
Yeah, not a whole lot of shields there.
No, that is definitely going to be bad for them. They have a little bit of an advantage with the high ground kind of on their side of things, and they're going to get to act before most of my guys, so I decide to just leave the high ground alone. I'll let them come to me.
Well, you could have just taken a couple of steps back, force them to come to you. The AI is not that enthusiastic about keeping an advantage.
Some of the enemy compositions are more diligent about keeping advantages than others. Brigand thugs are definitely not one of them.
Right. And I'm sure we'll be seeing some of that. Maybe not in short order, but soon.
Yeah. Mostly I just don't want to fight on the downhill part of the 2 little hexes of hill in the middle. So I'm just not going to go near there.
Yeah.
The guy with the dagger, if he wants to stay on that hill and let his friends fight below him, I'm fine with that. I'm just not going to move adjacent to him. And oh, hey, never mind. Good job, Flamester.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. They do have a brigand in that bush with a woodcutter's axe, same as Travelog has. And the mechanics with that is that I don't want to get within 1 hex of him. I actually already have, but it takes 6 AP to swing, and you only have 9, so if I can force him to move 2 tiles, he won't have the AP to swing at me. So that's my thinking about the positioning going on up north.
Yeah, and a lot of this really is, it's always possible for someone to come up and just headshot you. That's almost never going to be a problem that goes away. But realistically, you're playing the odds. He's going to walk up, and if he's only hitting you 1 time, odds are pretty good he's not going to kill you, and then you can murder him. It's where you get sustained, or multiple people attacking the same target that you really have to worry about it. Like, Flamester, he took a stab, but he's probably not going to die.
Worse than that, actually, he took a puncture. That's the secondary ability of a dagger, is that it bypassed his armor and went straight to his HP pool.
Yeah. I always feel like daggers, they're in a weird spot.
What, between Flamester's ribs?
Well, it's not a very good spot to be in. I mean, all of the different weapons have their own sort of niches, where spears are easy to hit with, swords are kind of a middle ground.
Yeah.
Axes and hammers do their own things. Daggers, if you're using daggers, you could have already killed the person. Is how I feel it, if you had been using another weapon.
Right. They do have that puncture ability, but unless you're only attacking them with daggers doing puncture ability, anybody else that's trying to help out is probably going to have to still go through their armor to deal damage to the HP pool.
Right.
This is actually our first minor injury that we've sustained. Pierced leg muscles for Flamester. It lowers his melee defense by 30%, so I kind of want him out of here. And that happened kind of quickly, but I used his shield to push the bandit away from him and then withdrew. It doesn't always work. It uses up quite a bit of stamina to make the shield push attempt. But when it works, it gets you out of trouble.
Yeah, it's better than taking the attack.
Definitely. The worst part about trying to disengage from an opponent is that if they hit you, you don't move. You return right to where you started, so you
still
lost
spend
doubly.
the AP as well.
Yeah. I mean, at least in Blood Bowl, you fall into the square next to, or your destination square.
Yeah, but failed dodge rolls are where 90% of injuries come from.
I don't know, maybe for you elfers, I never make dodge rolls.
3+ rolls are Hitler.
Oh, it's just the worst. This battle's over, though. There's one last guy, and despite his little flag showing his morale not as fleeing. He is, in fact, actively trying to get off the board. And now we have a chance to either run him down and kill him, which we're totally going to do, or we can just call it and have the battle end there. It just saves the player time. But we're going to kill him for experience and potentially his equipment.
Yeah, it's a nice feature.
It is. It is a nice quality of life feature, and I'm glad the game put it in there. Because sometimes you'd have to wait for things you had no hope of catching up to just get off the board before the battle ended. 180 crowns is a pretty good haul. We got a couple daggers, an axe, and a little bit of food.
Yay. Dubious mushrooms.